Let's take a walk through unpacking the emotions when you have lost your job. Welcome back to The Walk with me, Masi Munyange. As I shared with you in my first episode, I lost my job, which was my source of livelihood. I didn't know what to do at that time. All manner of emotions overcame me. Fear of the unknown. What will I tell people? What will people say? Where do I start with the job application process in a time where companies are not hiring? Well, I'm no expert, but allow me to share with you 5 emotional stages I went through at this time. Stage 1, shock and denial. I was not entirely unaware of losing my job. I had instances where I was shocked it happened to me. I kept replaying the 2 years. Did I make the right decision to join this company? Maybe if I was still in my former employer, I would still be employed. How could they do this to me? How could they let me go? I brought in so much value. Didn't they see it? I'm good at what I do. Don't they see that? The questioning went on and on and on in my mind. I was in denial. Clients would call me seeking help, and I'd still respond to them and actually tell them, let me follow up for you and get back to you. I'll have someone call you. Let's put it this way. You see, when you're in a relationship and you give it your all, you try to keep it alive, and still the other person ends it. It just doesn't work out. This was my case. I was in denial. I was no longer part of this company. A little bit of me wanted the relevance that came with having a job, being sought after to give solutions. I'd like to mention that at this time, a career coach reached out to me and asked that I allow her to walk me through navigating my life without a job. Well, I had her out, but at the back of my mind, I was thinking, who needs a career coach? What help will she offer me? The help I need right now is a job. What does she mean by navigating life without a job? This is a temporary problem, which at the back of my mind, I thought I'd navigate it one way or another without any form of help. But today, I am grateful to my career coach, for without her, finding myself deciphering all the emotions and feelings would have been tough. And why lie? That I must admit. The second emotion is that I began to be vexed and irritated by the fact that I was out of work. Anger set in. I didn't like where I was, why I was where I was. Nothing made sense. I began to wonder why, of all the years, 2020, a pandemic had to hit the whole wide world. And in the midst of all this, I was the one who got affected. Many thoughts crossed my mind and emotions filled me up, leading only to more tears, more questions, and less answers. And on to my third emotion, which is bargaining. Because I had a career coach. She helped me navigate my life, picking out the wins and identifying the losses, which would then turn around to be opportunities to apply to my work in life. What are some of the things I had to bargain over? To be honest, when you don't have a monthly salary, you start looking at must-haves versus need to have. Then the process of elimination began. Bills, bills, bills. I had to pay them. Some, I had to stagger them. Others, completely request for a waiver. And now, as I now cannot afford to pay, reality check hit me. I had to reduce my spend over some things. I never liked this at all. I didn't even see it coming. I was scared. Oh my, I had to stretch money to the last cent. And now, indefinitely. Thankfully, my career coach guided me on where to start. She said, make a list. Against each list, put the amount of money and begin to pay the bills that are necessary and strike the ones that are unnecessary out. And slowly by slowly, the reality of telling my siblings I was out of employment dawned on me. Maybe Superwoman ain't so super anymore. Maybe I needed help. And on to the fourth emotional stage, fighting depression. Like many people in our country, depression is not something we talk about openly. We shy away from actually talking about it. In our culture, we think that it's equivalent to kuruka kichwa or going mad or crazy. No one should even talk about it. Experts define depression as severe sorrow, unhappiness, or sadness. Well, I know many can resonate with this in one instance or another, where you think and think and think, Nabado, you cannot see the light at the end of the tunnel. Remaining positive and trying to fight off those negative emotions is something else. As for me during this time, I turned to the one source I knew, God. I went back to prayer and listening to encouraging sermons and verses and songs that at least in the midst of darkness uplifted me. Maintaining a workout regime, I did jogs around my neighborhood. I would just take a walk to clear my mind or simply get out of the house. I also kept to myself a lot. To be honest, I didn't want to replay to my friends, how did it happen? Ebu explained to us. So why did they? I think you need to take them to court. So I decided, let me stay indoors and think and do what I have to do, assisted by my career coach. One day, maybe one day, I will get up from this nightmare of a dream that doesn't seem to end. The fifth emotional process, 6 weeks into the coaching and having gone through a lot of self-discovery sessions, I could now accept my reality. I am now bila work. So now how do I move on? Okay. My entire family knows. They are now checking up on me in shifts to find out, Mercy, how are you? Mercy, have you eaten? Mercy, are you okay? My friends now all know. They are sending me random encouraging messages and funny clips to keep me engaged. Just like that relationship I mentioned, you have to accept and choose to move on. I accepted and I chose to move on. It took a lot of courage to dream again, to see myself from a vantage point, which was, now I have skills, I know my value, I know what I'm bringing to the table versus what I want to do in the next 15 years as a career. Having to dream again, to see the cup half full and not half empty. Having to look at my networks, now not from a point of what can you do for me, but more from how can we work together to create value and contribute towards growth was sobering. Okay, my bills have to be paid, but hang on. Do I want a job that will suck the life out of me, such that all I do is work, with no time for friends and family? I had to truly dream again, to have the courage to say to myself, well, I won't earn as much as I did in the past, but I am willing to take this amount of money, 1, to pay my bills, and 2, it's something aligned to my skill and passion. And just like that, I began to walk in my journey of acceptance and moving on. Defining what I wanted to do in the next few days and months gave me hope. Looking to the process of starting something afresh, a clean slate, building myself again. This gave me purpose, as it were, and now I could see the light at the end of the tunnel. You can be down but not out. What do I want you to take out of this? You can be down but not out. You may have lost something that was dear to you, your livelihood, your family, your friend. And yes, it was. And it still is tough. You may not even have found your footing as to how to navigate it. Many emotions of fear, anger, doubt, and unworthiness have overcome you. You have no one to help you. You have no one to hear you out. You just want it all to end. Be encouraged that nothing lasts forever. You have to desire to see yourself arise from the bottom. You must have the courage to pick yourself up. Well, pick yourself. Reevaluate your life goals. Where you are is not where you want to be, but guess what? You can still make it to the top. Have the courage to dream again. Your current dream may be a bad one, but with each waking day, you have an opportunity to dream again. Read a book. Pray. Have faith. You will dream again, and your dream is valid. We all have someone looking up to us. We cannot let them down. So arise and take a walk. Though you have detoured, keep walking. Arise and pursue purpose. Arise and pursue greatness.